What's up, everybody? This is Phil, and we're back. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Zade Comics, everybody. I hope you liked the that sexy intro video. You know, I want to appeal to all crowds. All right, on the Zade Comics channel. It's been a good day. It's really nice out today. It's like almost 80 here over in Chicago, which is crazy. Thanks for tuning in. We got Mo Biggs in the chat. Mo Biggs, thanks for coming on. And Sugar Chris is here. Richard B. Camaro was here earlier. And Mr. Von Stugel as well. Thanks for. Oh, and Joe, new subscriber. I saw that he just subscribed last night. Thanks for subbing. Awesome sketch show the other day, Joe. Your guys' pieces were kick-ass. If you guys are not subbed to his channel, go over and sub to Joe's channel. He does his show and stuff, and it's spelled really weird, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. Today we're talking about another book. I guess I'll run you through what I did today first. I woke up, I packed up another Lost Pages book because that we sold another one, so took that out to the post office, and then got some food. I got some lunch. So ate a little bit of the lunch, and I'm going to eat the rest afterwards. It was good stuff. But today we're talking about an awesome book here, a book known as DIXIE Rose by a creator that's been creating stuff for a long time, and I've been talking to him for a while since we started putting out books with Zade Comics crowdfunding, and he's just pumping stuff out, which is awesome. And he doesn't let anything get him down. He's jumping genres all the time. And I love seeing this stuff. Let's see. We got Lord Finatra in the chat too. Smiling Bandito. What's up, Smiling Bandito? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I just tweeted this out, guys. So if you guys are on Twitter and you see my tweet, please retweet it. Let people know that that we're going live and talking about DIXIE Rose. And speaking of DIXIE Rose, let's get the creator in here himself, Matthew Fowler. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me on. Giving me a chance to, spread the word of DIXIE Rose and promote my book a little bit. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Now you've been, writing and creating and putting out crowdfunding campaigns probably since I started doing that as well, probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago as well, because I always saw your work. And then you actually, I don't know if it was probably in a chat, right? When I was on a stream and you're like, oh, I know the Galloping Ghost Arcade and like all this stuff.
There's some deep connections there, probably.
Right. Yeah. Because, Magic Cop was originally supposed to be an arcade game like Bad Dudes and stuff like that. It was for the Galloping Ghost. We were going to produce it. And then Brandon and I decided to make it into a comic. But you were like the first person that's like, oh, I know that place,
I know Doc Mack. And, but more than him, I'm kind of friends with the Chicago fighting game community
for sure
for a number of years and volunteered at a ton of tournaments and stuff, bringing in arcade machines. And, right. I was really into video game preservation and, the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo scene and the Vampire Savior community. We kind of are really close-knit together because we bring the super guns to the tournaments, with the special hospital monitors with the RGB signal and the old super guns, which are just basically giant arcade cabinet guts made into like these metal consoles that play like old arcade boards. So all the true tournament players from all around the world like got a chance to have that genuine arcade experience when everyone was upgrading to those flat monitors and like Xbox 360 versions of the games
right.
that were, the real pros. I mean, how the fighting game community is. They like that arcade accurate, for 100%, sure. No lag, no delay, tournament shit. Because, they bet a lot of money on all that stuff. Like side betting is a huge part of the fighting game community.
It's so awesome to be at a
money matches and stuff like that. Yeah,
while watching money matches and then side bets going on that are very shady and stuff.
No, it's fun. I don't know if you ever travel or go to Atlanta to final round or out to Vegas to Evo, but man,
I've been to final round twice.
And the money matches are crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, Atlanta is huge for those things. You'll have people there that don't even play; they just go to freaking side bet, man.
Oh yeah, it's so a big deal in Atlanta.
We went to final round twice, and then my buddy won final round in Mortal Kombat 9 in like 2012. I want to say maybe 2013.
Okay.
And then the next year he got second. Sonic Fox beat him when Sonic Fox was just coming up.
Right. He popped on the scene out of nowhere, a pad player, furry dude that was just bodying everyone, man. I remember
when he was 17. Yeah, well, that's all fighting game shit. No one cares about that. But, you know, man, the roots go back into the fighting game scene a while. I was just at my buddy's house. We were playing old, you know, MK9 and Injustice 1 and stuff like that. But even though they're not that old.
Like the viewers don't realize each video game has its own region, kind of that like that game is really popular. So like Atlanta, they're Tekken people down there. You know what I'm saying? You go down there and Tekken's the big game. But Chicago, the big game is Mortal Kombat. It's a Mortal Kombat / Injustice City. I think that's because Midway is in Chicago. And,
I think a lot of it has to do with it. I don't know if it sounds weird, but us at the arcade starting the team up and then traveling, and then holding, because we held big tournaments where we would invite people from across the country to come to the tournament to play for a big pot and stuff like that at the arcade. So we're totally
Tom Brady and all those guys.
All those guys. So but that's fun. And you know, bringing it back to comics and CG and doing all this stuff that's a reason I kind of gravitated to CG so much, because it's like a grassroots fighting game scene where you have, you know, all these people and you have the inside jokes that other people don't know about that are outside of the scene. And I can't wait until cons start coming around, because one of my favorite things is traveling to tournaments and seeing people from out of the country that you haven't seen in a year. You know, you see them once a year.
No Combo Breaker this last year killed me, because I see my friends, Combo Breaker, the big one in Chicago.
Yeah.
You get to see people from Australia, you know, people from Canada come down, all the Japanese players come in, and, you know, and even all the regional people like the SoCal and NorCal people come in. Like the gathering and hanging out of all those people from all over the world is killing me, not being able to do that anymore. The fighting game scene is addicting. Like once you go to a tournament and get in with people and become friends, and you know, then you see these people in Atlanta and you see these people in Las Vegas and you see them in Northern California, and you're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And it is a lot like CG that way. You know, the chat specifically reminds me a lot of the FGC.
For sure. Yeah. And Kyung Lee's another guy that was around the fighting game scene back in the days. Like, I think it was a SoCal guy who went to like Super Arcade and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a legendary spot, Super Arcade, for sure.
So, but yeah, let's get into the comics, man. That's why we're here. Dixie Rose is fully funded, and it's looking kick-ass, man. You got some awesome character designs in here, kind of a cool backstory of how getting into this. But yeah, give us like a little pitch about this, then we'll go into like how you got into it.
Yeah, so a lot of people were like upset that a lot of these books are ongoing, you know, like, oh, I'm not getting a whole story. It's a cliffhanger, or I got to wait another year till the next book. So I was like, well, let's do a crime comic, you know, old school, self-contained one shot that just tells a whole story, you know, mystery that's resolved in one, you know, shot, you know, just in one go. Yeah. So I came up with this, you know, like little tech noir pulp crime comic, kind of in the same vein as Sin City or Blade Runner.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's so cool.
I figured in the past, a lot of these type of smuttier, grimy comics are more underground. So I figured let's do the grimy underground type thing with a full production style art. Like it was just like a DC comic on the shelf with the next to Batman or 3 Jokers or something. So I wanted a really DC Comics kind of look for this one.
Yeah, I mean, It looks awesome. Just the colors as well, man, just pop off the page. We had some questions here in the chat. George was asking, what do we like better, comics or video games?
Well, see, about 13, I started getting out of comics and gaming, you know, playing Street Fighter 2 at 7-Eleven and stuff. And then it was, you know, into cars and girls, you know? So I've always kind of read comics, but video games definitely took me away from comic books when I was a kid, you know, right when the 90s stuff was starting to taper down and Image Comics were kind of fizzling because they were, you know, 6 months between issues of Pit or whatever. I don't know if you remember how it was back in the. Oh, you're about 10 or 12 years younger than me though, yeah. So I think back then there was like droughts in the Image runs. You know, like Tribe 1 would come out, and then there would be no Tribe 2, and then in 6 months there would be Tribe. So about mid 90s, I was starting to not really care about that, and you know. Playing Street Fighter. I mean, like that changed, that gets you out of the house and gets you hanging out at these places. So, I mean, I love both equally, but you know, I did choose video games over comics, you know,
for a while, right? Yeah. Right. For me, I mean, when I was younger, it was like the same thing where, video games was very much, you know, people think now video games is you're in your bedroom playing by yourself, playing with other people online. But I had the arcade available for me, so it was going somewhere. It was getting out of the house and doing something. And back then, we had a small community there, so you had friends that you go see every weekend when you go to the arcade, which was awesome. So that was really cool. And like now, for me, it's comic. Like I'm working on comics more than playing games. I maybe play games once a week with buddies, but I haven't played a fighting game. Like when I went over to my buddy's house the other night, I didn't even play. I just watched. You know, I haven't played a fighting game in a long time.
Well, if you don't stay current, you get bopped. And
get bopped.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. You know, you gotta train and put in those hours. You know,
for sure.
And when new shit drops, I mean, you know, our friends, they get it early and they got the frames counted and what, you know, block strings and chains were. You know, they got those games broken before they drop, you know. It's like if you're not there breaking them with them, you know, you're at a huge disadvantage.
Of course.
You know? Yeah. That's why I stick to the classics, you know, bringing the Super Guns and playing Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Vampire Savior. You know, I've been playing that game for 30 years.
Things don't change.
You know, you're going to have to be pretty good to beat me, you know? Right. So I like that old stuff better. And they didn't do the constant patches and stuff back then. These patches are a nightmare. I mean, because these esports people train players and have houses of players that live together and train and stuff, and they'll drop a patch the day of like CEO Florida tournament or something.
Right, and it's legal.
Yeah, and they'll have to play on that new patch. And not only that, the CEO tournament runner, you know, will have to update all the systems and I don't know, all that patch and stuff really took the heart out of the FGC, you know, with the updates and stuff.
George says he hasn't stepped in an arcade in 30 plus years. Yeah, man, come to Chicago.
Go to Galloping Ghost. They've got like this, like what, over 900 games or something? It's
almost.
Like
we got
warehouses.
Yeah, we got like 815 or something right now. It's crazy. But yeah, like, and right now, you know, working on comics is it's cooler for me because you're working on it and you're making something and it's making progress, you know, and then you're building something.
That's the thing I love about the comics with the Comics Gate here is like you can make industry level AAA comics as an independent. Like I can't make a AAA game, you know. I can't make something as intricate as Street Fighter, you know, in the indie scene. I mean, you know, Skullgirls and stuff, but I mean, that was kind of a life labor for that dude. And, you know, it took a long time to make. I'm talking AAA stuff, and we can do that here. And we can't make AAA movies or blockbuster, you know, indie movies or anything. But, you know, you're working with Simon Beasley. I mean, dude, when I was a kid, he was the man for sure, selling that Batman Judge Dredd stuff. I mean, and like, we get to work with these people now. So
it's crazy, dude.
It's a great feeling is all the only way I can describe it.
Before I got into CG, and knew any like artists that wanted to do stuff, I was struggling to find someone that wanted to work on someone else's, book or something, someone else's idea. I had a buddy that was a concept artist for NetherRealm Studios. He worked as like QA, and then he did a lot of concepts for Injustice 2 and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say NetherRealm got all the DC stuff as far as video games go.
So yeah, I also try, through that I was friends with a bunch of people that worked there. So I'd always try to be like, hey, is there anything I could do to get in there as a writer for storylines and stuff? And so I was working on, they're like maybe sending some pitches, like DC pitches to them. So I had a Lobo, Etrigan, the Demon DC pitch that I really want to do, which is freaking fun.
Etrigan's rad, dude. You can't go wrong with Etrigan.
Yeah, man. So I was trying to get in there, but like artists and stuff, I couldn't find anyone that was reliable and would make deadlines and stuff. So, but since being here, I've wouldn't have been able to make the Lost pages without that, because there's so many artists that I've met, Kyung Lee and all these guys. And then
Joe Ball. I mean, there's tons of them coming through here. Rob Willis, Kanan, right. So many good people.
George says, I'm a Shakespeare. There you go. I appreciate it, man. But look at this, man. This is like AAA art, man, and graphic. Well, not graphics. This isn't a video game, but now it got me on video game stuff. But art, coloring, man, just total
lighting. I love the lighting in that panel where she's sparking that square. It's
total noir, man, and the storytelling too. Like these sequential panels, remind me of like how Steranko would do panels in his noir stuff, one right after another, kind of like the staccato paneling where it's moments in time. Really good at keeping time and motion of time through the storytelling. I love this stuff, dude.
And with the cliffhanger page endings, the guy surrounding him in the alley will make you want to turn the page to see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, all that's very deliberate.
Good, man.
Planning. You read the Understanding Comics and the Will Eisner sequential art stuff is where I'm getting all that from. There are a couple books that kind of break all that down, and it's like, oh yeah, you got to do that for sure.
That's good. And that's awesome to hear, because there's been some books that I've gotten that you don't have that, people don't pay attention to those page turns. Like that was something that, I don't know where I picked it, maybe watching a YouTube channel or something like that. But that was something that stuck out to me, where it's like, you want to build up to that moment, and, writing short stories kind of really helps you with that, because you need to have those, kind of like in wrestling when you get that pop from the crowd, where it's like, oh shit, this is what's going down when you turn the page.
And like the normal, the high panel count on that page.
Yeah. And
then the big panel at the bottom is kind of like the tension release, type. It's all like almost like being a drummer, like on beat making software, when you plan out your panels and stuff. There's a lot of like timing involved in it, for sure.
No, it's great to see. Let's see. Jojo Kunsamic says Dixie Rose looks good. Had to back it. Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, thanks, Dojo. He launched Siamese yesterday. It was a big party at Bancroft. So congrats on your launch, man.
Yeah, congrats, brother. More pages here, and now this is the main character, right?
Yeah, that's Rusty Hammer, the detective of the joint. He's kind of like a Tom Selleck, PI type from all the old '80s great detective shows we'd get on TV. Yeah. Rockford Files and Spencer for Hire, stuff like that. This
is like a mash, between that noir and kind of like futuristic, I would say almost like cyberpunk-esque stuff going on. So you're
Blade Runner 2049, man, definitely a huge influence of the colors for sure.
Great motion in this panel. Impact. That guy got wrecked. This is awesome. So how did you kind of get into comics, from, being a comic lover young, and then going into video games and then producing books, because you did Prospectors, which looked amazing.
That one didn't fund, but we still have it around, one day, hopefully.
I would love to see that come back, man. And then you did Psycho 66, right?
Yeah, Psycho 66.
Yeah, now Image is
ripping that off. Book with Skybound, the Rob Kirkman's thing did Ultra Mega. Yeah, about a year later. It's got some similarities, I guess.
For sure. And now you're doing this. How did you get into, meeting up with artists and wanting to get these stories out there?
I think I was really into comics as a kid, and I always kind of wondered, like, oh, well, a few times in the past, I've had friends who were tattoo artists that could kind of draw a little bit. Yeah. And I've always tried to talk them into doing something with me. But there's like this point for artists that they can't really get past from doing like cool stuff that would be on your binder or a tattoo to doing actual sequential artwork, and just because the guy can draw a cool skull with flames and stuff doesn't mean he could draw like a kitchen sink and unwashed dishes with flies around them, or whatever type of minuscule elements that are required in constructing these universes of sequential art. So I never really had anything come together until, like you said, about 2018, when all these artists and people excuse me, hungry for work started coming out of the woodwork, people eager to work with high talent. And it's like, okay, well, let's start talking to these people. And it's like, you watch these books being made online and you're like, okay, this is what X amount of dollars is for a penciler, an inker, colorist, letterer, copy proof editor, what printing costs, hidden costs for barcodes and digital pre-press. You kind of just figure the whole thing out with Google and YouTube videos, and kind of watch all the other people running the same race as you, and kind of like avoid the stuff that tripped them up, or mistakes they made, and kind of learn from everyone doing this, and stand on the shoulder of giants, I guess, to put it like that. And then any of us in the chat or whatever can kind of get this together and make industry level comics, save us from the Squirrel Girls and the America Chavez's and, all that was going on when this kind of started,
Yeah, dude. It's crazy where we are now. Like, I never would have thought this would be happening, like 4 years ago when I was trying to, like, because I wrote some of those Lost Pages stories back then when I was trying to get artists and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome to see the success of everybody and of this as well. You build in, more of a crowd around your books, and I can't wait to see what else you're going to do, man. Let's see. We got
I think my next project is a lot more closer to my heart with the fighting game community and stuff. I don't know if you've seen any of the artwork from Tiger Blue with Jose Garcia as the artist.
No.
It's in the straight up Udon style, with the Bengus Capcom looking size characters and whatnot.
I did see that. I remember that. I forgot that was your stuff, man. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. He's a great artist. Can't wait.
Black and white, low budget, just me and him. It's a real small team. So I'm kind of tightening the belts a little bit, but up in the quality at the same time. So yeah, keep an eye out for Tiger Blue for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Let's see, we got a new backer here. So just appreciate you both on CG streams. Hell yeah, thanks, IDZ. Let's do a little.
I appreciate it, man.
Throw a little F5 up here. See, we're at 78 backers, and now we got 79 backers. Hell yeah,
nice. It's like going around to as many streams as you can and selling 1 or 2 books is how it's got to be done, man. I appreciate everybody who backs it.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Amy McLaren, or Ami, sorry. I never remember how to pronounce this. But she's the awesome artist on Reality Hackers. So, guys, check that book out. Thanks for tuning in. Ame, I think it's Ame. She's also her boyfriend's the awesome synthwave track artist that makes all of our songs. The song at the beginning of this stream was actually composed by him. He does the Magic Cop theme song, the Lost Pages one as well.
Did he do the Joe Capitone synthwave for the Star Circuit too?
Yeah, I think he did a track for Joe, and I think he's doing one for Chimera as well, for maybe SOS or maybe Testament, the new book that's coming out.
Chimera's working on something big. I see Rob Willis covers coming in, and
Joe
he's got
Ball
a
cover too.
synthwave coming. And yeah, I saw the Joe Ball cover. I forget the name of it. That's
Testament is the
Testament.
Yeah,
that's it. Testament. Yeah. Keep an eye out for that one though, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Squirrel Girl. Aw, she always gets her nut. There you go. Perfect. Now, tell me about this big guy here. I kind of want to get a little bit into the story. What's going on? He obviously looks like a bad guy.
All right, so there's like 5 suspects to one of the strippers is murdered is the whole story, and there's 5 suspects. He's one of the suspects. He's one of the murder victim's regulars, and he's kind of like her drug dealer, except in today we have crackheads that get all skinny and smoked out, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not cowards and they smoke crack. So but in the future, sugar is illegal, and the drug of choice on the streets is this form of like concentrated, like high fructose corn syrup type crack. It's sugar crack. And the people who use it, instead of getting real skinny like crackheads, they get like so overweight, and he's one of them, and he's called a sweetie, is what they call crackheads that do the sugar thing in our world. And he's one of the suspects, and he's involved in all of his own, low down illegal doings, and he doesn't like it that our detective Rusty Hammer is down here asking questions, and poking his nose around.
What's his name?
His name is Sweetie.
That's awesome, dude.
And he's designed by the one and only Mr. Kanan White.
Kick ass. Yeah, you could totally tell he's got that Kanan flair to him, man.
A little bit of Kingpin, a little bit of Genghis Khan, but it works.
Even like Mojo a little bit.
He reminds me of Rufus. I don't know if you remember Rufus from Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, man.
Like I get a lot of Rufus off this dude.
Yeah, for sure, man. Does he fight like Rufus too? He's like spinning.
No. He's got the enhanced strength from his replacement arm there, and you see him throw the detective through the window with it. But other than that, he's basically a fat dude with a bad attitude.
Yeah, I love his pants too. He's got those cool like genie pants.
Yeah.
See these little turnarounds of your characters here. Rusty Hammer. Tell me about this dog. And this is she's a stripper as well as a gun wielding badass.
No, she's not a stripper. That's Dixie Rose. She owns the club.
Okay.
And all the strippers work for her. She's kind of like the head bitch in charge type situation.
She's got cowboy boot roller skates.
Yeah. So like she kind of gets a little bit of rollback when she blasts the shotgun too.
That's gonna be awesome. What about this dog here?
All right, that's her dog, and he's rocking the comb of shame because he keeps picking at his cybernetic implants. In the story, he got hit by the murderer on the night of the murder, like while he was fleeing the scene, or it was fleeing the scene. I don't want to, gender the murderer yet because it's part of the mystery. And got hit, so he had to have his lower half replaced or injuries enhanced. So that's by the time the investigation starts, he's recovering from recent surgery. So that's his story.
People want to know what bunker you're broadcasting from.
Oh, I'm in we have a music room. I do production or whatever. So here, let me show you with the camera. See all my
a little turntable there.
My MP and my turntable and stuff. Not really a bunker, just kind of a the computer's working in this room.
Good. Beautiful logo, Dixie Rose logo.
That's by Bob Stone.
Yeah,
you know him. He did Jawbreakers, Iron Sights,
Company Men.
I was just gonna say for Kimosabi, he got the Company Men logo. If you can get a hold of him, he's kind of elusive, but if you can track him down and he does answer you, he'll give you an amazing logo for sure. Yeah, he's done a few for me. I think he designed the Sideshow 66 logo and Red Giant Battle logos. Like
nice. Yeah.
Mechs versus Biblical Giants book from a few years back that didn't fund.
Let's see here. And We got about the Sweetie character. Everybody's loving it. Looking badass design. Yeah, Kanan's awesome with the designs. He did a lot of the designs for this, right?
Yeah, he was, the whole story of that is he was going to originally be my interior artist for the Prospectors.
Yeah.
After he designed all the characters, and then he got other work, and that was, more priority, and I didn't want to wait that long to do Prospectors because I had placed all those ads for it in the Alterna comics and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd been running for a year, so I didn't want to wait type situation. So that's where I got a hold of Ricardo Jaime, and he can do a good approximation of that style. So
for sure,
he picked up Prospectors, and when that didn't fund, I just rolled that whole team over into Dixie Rose so they could work through the holidays. Instead of having no project, I was like, well, let's try this other thing. And so I did the same thing again, had Kanan design, and then Ricardo draw, and Marcos do the colors and whatnot.
Well, it's paying off, man. This is looking kick-ass. How long have you guys been working on this now?
Since mid-November, I would say.
Wow. Cool.
And we haven't worked on it since we started funding. We made like 12 pages and a few development character design pages. And then now we're just waiting for funding to be dispersed to resume, pages in the cycle, where you get the inks in and then they're off to the colors. So and then that's, it's kind of all going on
that's
like
an
assembly line.
Crowdfunding is, it's one thing, but it's kind of two different things for different types of people. Like if you're an artist doing it yourself, then you can work on it as much as you want. And if you're a writer that's hiring artists and colorists and stuff, you don't have that capital just to fund the whole thing yourself, and you're doing the crowdfunding thing where the fans are helping you create this thing, then you kind of have to do that. You get a handful of pages finished and colored to show off, and then after your month or 2 months, you get that disbursements of your funds, then you could start knocking stuff out again, which is cool to see everybody doing different stuff and different styles and doing it the way that they are able to do it, because not everybody could just fund the whole thing, and because it's risky, and it's all
at that level of quality to be funded out of pocket is hard to do,
for sure.
I mean, making the pilot or whatever to sell people on it as a potential investment, or if you can get them to believe in you, that's a doable thing. You can make something that looks that good as like a pitch package, or as something to sell to them. But
right.
Yeah, doing a whole 52 book like this out of pocket for me would be impossible.
Right.
Too expensive. For sure.
Now this is it looks like a super rich world. You have, I remember you talking about like a giant elevator.
Yeah, the Rose, or the Rapid Orbital Space Elevator,
yeah,
is just like a giant metal rose is what it looks like, basically. And this club's at the bottom of it. So all kinds of space marines or asteroid miners or whoever works the station kind of parties down there, because you can't really party in space. You can't have illegal substances or, illicit relationships or, the type of shit that goes on world, is what's going on. So you're like, well, who murdered her? This person might be gone for so many months, and you can't talk to that suspect. Or were her clients on-world clients? Like the Sweeties can't go up the elevator. They violate all kind of regulated weight requirements, and like they're out of spec. They're out of spec for what you need to be to go up to that and interact. So it's kind of like a bunch of questions on like who killed her, and are they from up there or down here? Type situation. A little Battle Angel-ish, with the city above.
For sure.
But not really. It's more like a seaport, where sailors come in and party and then, go back out, is kind of the way I view it a little bit.
That's great. It sounds super rich. Let's see. People are talking about bisexual lighting in the chat. Cobalt,
it is a club. I mean, it's a strip club, it's supposed to look sexual and
Mobigs is saying Cobalt has shown us the true path by curious lighting is the future. So that could be a thing. And we don't judge here. I'm a fan of the lighting. As you've seen, Magic Cop's very retro 80s lighting. So I'm all about it. Let's see what we got for perks, Matt. The Champagne Room Bundle. I love the title.
That's just the big box of stuff. You know, you get a high quality T-shirt, the metal bottle opener, church keys that Phoenix Animation made for me. He's the guy that's doing all those metal prints you've been seeing for Company Men and Shotgun Samurai and Cobalt on Twitter. He's cool. I suggest you guys get a hold of him for some interesting, unique perks in your campaigns.
Those are
I think we got a poster. I think we got a poster and a signed copy of the comic with all that in the big bundle tier.
Nice, and that shirt, pretty sick. So you're doing digital PDF, $20. I love seeing the digital and at a price like that because
it's the same price as the comic minus shipping and production. You know, like not production, sorry,
printing,
manufacturing.
Right. Yeah, I think that's great. You know, it's still, you know, you had to pay a lot of money for these artists to do their work, so it still has that production value to it. That's awesome. And how many pages? Oh, 52 pages.
52, nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you get the 52-page book, regular $25. And then this is a pretty clean campaign. You know, this kind of reminds me, I don't know if have you gotten Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb?
Oh, yeah, the first Kyung Lee book. Yeah, that was like the must base your campaign off of stylistically, like role model for sure. Yeah,
and then
the women draw your eyes down, and you keep the campaign tiers clean, and
right, perfect. Sure. And then his second one, I don't know if you saw the newest campaign he did. It was 2 perks. That's it, and he made like 50 or 60K off that. Like, got so many backers that. So it was awesome to see something like that work. You know.
Well, because it speeds up fulfillment. Really streamlining everything at the end of the day benefits the customer because you're not like lost in tiers and fulfillment of like, I've seen campaigns like 17 different tiers and lots of stuff that could cause problems. It's like keep it simple, stupid. Is what I try to do.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the big perk here. Become a club patron in the book. You already sold 2 of those out of 5. Really cool. And you have also, I don't know if I could blow this picture up. Let's see if we could see Dixie Rose herself.
Yeah, that's the club owner. The real life Dixie Rose.
That's awesome, man. And this is a big poster at the club now?
Yeah, that's hanging up right behind her on that wall at the club now, still to this day.
That's awesome. So people that love being drawn into books, I know there's a few, I think Chris is in here. Sugar Chris, he loves being drawn into clubs, and he also loves the ladies. So this could be
lap dance potential.
Yeah,
back today, you'll get a guaranteed lap dance in the book.
Yeah, back at people, you get that lap dance. That's awesome. So really cool. Something that's very unique to this campaign is there's an actual Dixie Rose out there.
Yeah, it's an actual club down here in Peoria.
That's cool.
Very
you're
popular,
in Peoria?
Topless ball. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Are you going to be at? There's a con like in 2 weeks near there. I think it's in like Bloomington. I'm going to be at.
Maybe just send me a thing. I'll come check it out.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to bring some games down there, and I'll probably bring a bunch of books to sell if that's possible. But yeah, awesome, man. Dixie Rose, everybody, check it out. Anything else you want to say about the book? Or
if you're in town for the convention, you might have to come see the club for research purposes.
I don't know.
Just let me know, man.
Yeah. I would have to get a picture with that poster, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah. We'll talk. Yeah, this is. I'm so excited that it's funded, man, because I'm glad you're going to get your stuff out there and seeing 52 pages, people. It's a one-shot, beginning, middle, and end story, so it's all going to wrap up. And then I know he's going to be pumping out some more stuff. Like you said, that Blue Tiger, you said?
Yeah, Tiger Blue is coming, and that will be completely finished when it launches. So that will be like the instant turnaround time. Jose is really fast, so I'm thinking by the end of the year at least. And I have the rest of Sideshow 66 with me and Matt Weldon. The next issue's done. I haven't felt it's the right time to do a campaign for it yet. So we're just going to do the last issue too. So we'll release all 75 pages of Sideshow 66 at once when it's done, and skip issue 2 and 3 and go straight to trade paperback.
That's going to be awesome.
That's what the fans want. The crowd keeps saying like, well, we don't want floppies. They did want floppies, but then now they're showing the majority don't. They want full experiences.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I just think when I kind of got into comics, it was at an older age, and I bought all like the Batman stuff that like all the main Batman readings were in trades. So I think we're now in a culture of those trades. You're seeing trades sometimes making more money in the comic shops than the floppies now. And it's that full contained story. Maybe you wait a little bit longer, but the good thing is guys like us, we could work on multiple things at once because we're the writer. We have other
as a writer, you're free to see lots of girls, or whatever.
Yeah, you have all your artists lined up. And I totally agree with that. It was explained to me where when you're a writer dealing with artists in indie comics, that each artist is like a girl you're courting. You got to keep them happy. You got to be like, on their case a little bit, keep them in line for deadlines. But also, you got to kind of, pet them so they don't get mad at you. So
when you got to fight off these other motherfuckers trying to steal your girl, dude. That's
totally
part.
True. Yeah. That's hilarious. But yeah, so we get, the leeway where we could be working on multiple projects at once, which is awesome, which we see with you. You're pumping out stuff all the time, which is great to see. Another guy like Mark Polton is working on, 5 different books at once with different artists, and is putting out 4 more this year, which is insane. Shout outs to him. But yeah, if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe below, hit that like button, and check out this book, Dixie Rose. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right here so you guys could go over there. It's in the description as well. And where could people find you, Matt?
I am at Retrographic Books LLC on Twitter. Wait, no, it's at Dubois_Fowler on Twitter.
Yes. Or you can look up retro. If you look up Retrographics, it'll pop up as well.
It's my shake face, from the chat. Let me see if I can show you guys this.
Yeah, shake.
It's the shake face that everybody sees everywhere. So
yeah, so look for the shake. And
I think I have a website, retrographicbooks.com. You can
nice.
Check out all the projects I'm working on. I think there's maybe Tiger Blue art, Red Giant Battle art, Sideshow 66 art is over there. And I think what's that Tim Lim website that they sell Common America, Iconic Comics. Iconiccomics.com. You can still buy Sideshow 66. I believe Matt Weldon, my artist, is selling some autographed copies and special sketch tier stuff on that website still. So if you want that comic, you can find it there. If not, back Dixie Rose, because that's where I'm doing right now and need it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back in that after the stream. Everybody check out Dixie Rose. Looks so cool. And then if you guys haven't yet, check out Magic Cop 2. We are 22 days away from closing. We're in the second 30 days. And I'm going to do a little refresh. I think someone said that they backed. We're at 204. We just passed 200 backers, which was so cool. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Good numbers.
Yeah. 205. Thank you. Oh, my God. $50 away from hitting 16K. Thank you guys for supporting this book. It's been such a blast putting it out. And
it's strippers and cocaine too, right?
That's true. Yeah, dude, there's a strip.
What's in the water in Illinois that we keep writing this kind of stuff, man?
That's awesome. Yeah, we have our big bad guy, Arsenic Jones. He kind of hangs out at a strip club, and there's a great scene. My brother, I wrote in the script, he's at a strip club and there's a stripper dancing on on the table. I don't know if I came up with this or my brother, but there's a genie lamp, and the genie comes out and she's the stripper on the table. So it's pretty fun.
She grants your wishes.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah. We got the magic cup as well. You guys could grab a magic cup. And we just put up these new sketch cards that are, I don't know if you saw this is a wizard pimp who's doing a big magic pimp slap, of course. And then Art T. Bear did this beautiful head sketch for us that sold yesterday of Helly, which is amazing. It's like you never would have thought Art T. Bear would even talk to me, let alone.
Dude, he inked my favorite issues of Fantastic Four. The ones with Ghost Rider, Grey Hulk, and Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's like, man, just to see him around, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so cool. And then Brandon did some sketch cards as well. He did some sexy sketch cards, which sold too. So if you guys are looking for original art, we do sketch cards every Monday from different artists in CG. So pay attention to those Monday afternoon to check that out. But other than that, you'll hit up Dixie Rose, get that. If you guys are looking for a book that you could get right away in the mail, we'll ship it out next day. The Lost Pages is still funding, or in demand, I should say, shipping out on demand. So check out the Lost Pages, Dixie Rose, Magic Hop, and let's see what people are doing in the chat here. Finatra's still here.
Yeah,
Yo,
Finatra.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Sugar Chris right here. They're bored with the strippers, Mo, and want to waste to taste the sugar. Yeah, everybody loves the sugar. Sugar Chris. Chris, I want to see you getting a lap dance in this book. No homo. There you go, man. Other than that, I think that was a great show. Thanks for coming on, Matt.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, talking fighting games and comics a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime. I want to start streaming and doing more videos and stuff. I just got a Simon Bisley sketchbook that I want to go over on stream. Maybe get like Frega in here to talk about that. He's a Bisley fan, some other guys as well. But yeah, we're, tomorrow I think we're doing a stream with Malin and Mark Polton to talk about their new campaign. And then the rest of the week I'll probably, be streaming on other places. You should get on Art T. Bear's show. You should hit him up. He does those morning shows.
Pontificators, is he still doing?
He hasn't been doing that as much, but I know he does like morning shows during the week.
I'll have to check him out though, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. He'd love your book. He's I have a feeling Art's a fan in strip clubs. Just saying. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. Ring the bell for notifications so you know when we're going live. And we'll see you later. Hey, Leroy's here. See you, Leroy.
Bye, Leroy. Later.
See ya.